My name is Cassy Summers. Welcome to the Curious Universe podcast. Let's talk about congruency with your body. So, have you ever seen those people that they just have this kind of way of being with their body? There's kind of usually a fluidity. They don't stumble around or bump into things. The way they dress, you would probably describe it as oh, that's so them, And your mind might think that's their style. But what if what you're actually aware of is a congruency that the being has with the body that also has with the clothing that they're wearing? So congruency is, and you can look it up. There's a few all different definitions, but it's really that harmony, in harmony with, to be congruent with something. You have that harmony with it. So if you acknowledge that you as an infinite being have a body and that you're not the same one thing, you're not your body. Your body has its own consciousness. Your body is this magical creature that you get to experience this life with. Then sometimes you might notice that the being is not congruent with the body. How this can show up, let's say you've changed a lot, okay? You've done a lot of personal growth. Maybe you've been to some incredible classes and you've changed and you've grown and you're expanding, and your body might start to have some difficulties. It could show up like physical pain or aesthetic. It could start to look kind of off. Maybe the disharmony is that the body hasn't actually been gifted what it requires to also expand. It hasn't been gifted the energy or the attention or the type of food that it requires to eat or. And now when you function from congruency with your body, then you and your body are creating your life. You're in the creation of your life. And this is where I see a lot of people having so much ease with their body, so much joy of embodiment. And no matter their shape or size or age or color or gender or whatever's going on, there's just this harmony, this kind of vibe that they have, you know that vibe. You've seen that vibe. Maybe you have that vibe, or maybe you've had it in the past, and then something you're like, what happened? I used to have that with my body. So we change. We're creatures of change. We're always changing, and our body's always changing too. So something that I've been really playing with is actually asking the question every morning to be congruent, for my body and I to be congruent with each other. Just even saying that, do you notice the energy that shows up? To be congruent, you and your body to be congruent with each other, to be in harmony with each other. And then you can branch it out into other things. So you can look at your wardrobe, look at the clothes that you're wearing. Are they actually congruent with your body? Now, sometimes we think, oh, I just got bored of this because I wore it too much, like some item of clothing. And that could be it. But also, is it possible that it's no longer congruent with your body or your being? It could be both. It could be one or the other, because we're not always congruent with our body. So it could be, oh, well, this fits my body shape, but it's actually not congruent with my being. That might be an awareness of your body actually is I would ask the question, hey body, like, are you congruent with me? Am I congruent with you? Yes, no. If you're getting no, then you can start asking that question. Well, what would it take for us to be congruent with each other? And then you might have awarenesses like communicate better, sleep more, sleep less, dance more, move more. Cool. Eat differently, add something, take something away. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So you're probably having a lot of awarenesses about that. I hope you are. And then you can start to really, if you're willing to take action and choose those things, you'll create a greater congruency with the being and the body, with you, the being, and your magical body. And then start to play with the clothing again. Okay. So then start to go, okay, what clothing can I add to my life that would be congruent with my body and my being? That's a different thing than when you're asking, like, what clothes can I get that's going to like hide the extra holiday weight, or that will make me look slimmer, or that will achieve some certain result, right? What can I wear that's going to make me look professional? You can ask those questions, absolutely. But what we're just looking at today is that congruency piece, because I could see a similar body, like a similar body type, wearing a very similar thing, and two different people, there would be a difference in congruency. Because the being is there. It's not always about body shape. It's not about, if you're an apple, you should wear this type of stuff. If you're a pear, you should wear this type of stuff. You can bring all that in if you want, if that's fun for you. But look at the congruency. Really play with that congruency. What type of clothing is congruent with your body and your being? What type of fabrics, what colors, and then like even your hairstyle, right? Like, is that congruent? Is the way that you put makeup on or don't put makeup on? Maybe you never wear makeup. Is that congruent? Is wearing makeup congruent? Maybe your body is like, it's not really congruent with who we are. So what if you really played with that congruency and inviting this kind of like harmonious living? Now, of course, congruency goes into every aspect of your life, but I want to explore a little bit more here with you about body and embodiment. So what congruency could you have with your body that would allow you together to create more than you ever imagined possible? Because when you create with your body rather than against, oh my goodness, like you just added a very powerful, very magical creature to your team. And your body, despite what you might believe, your body is utterly loyal to you, the being. Sometimes we feel like our body's against us. I've heard people say like, my body's mad at me. Okay. Well, there could be a lot of things going on there. But truly, your body adores the being that you are. It is so grateful to get to be with you. It's dedicated to you. It will show you the things that you are not paying attention to that you need to. It will communicate everything to you that it believes or you've given it the job to communicate. It's always having your back. It's always looking at your best interests. Not all of us have a lot of people in our lives like that. But you have your body in your life like that already. You already have a body that is totally dedicated and loyal to you. Are you loyal to it? Are you dedicated to it? Do you own it? not from dominating and controlling it, but I mean from that, like when you own something, you care for it. And then allow your body to own you. Allow your body to care for you, the being. When your body's like just humming, you know, like maybe you've received this incredible massage, or you're at like a hot spring in the water, or you've just had some like incredible food, and your body's like experiencing that and all those physical sensations. What is that like for you, the being? Are you in harmony with your body at that time and receiving that experience as well? So how can your body actually care for you, the being, that you've never allowed it to? And how is it already caring for you that maybe you've never acknowledged? And the more congruent you're willing to be with your body, the more it can actually contribute, and the more you can contribute to it. Because if you're doing disharmony, right? Let's say you've chosen disharmony, or let's say things have gotten disharmonious, and maybe you weren't aware of it until now, then things are just kind of like a little funky. Like they just aren't really fluid and flowing and in that like beautiful harmony that we know is possible. Like when you listen to music and it's out of like, there's patterns of disharmony in it. How does that feel to hear it? For me, it's usually like, oh, not so great. So now if there's patterns of disharmony running through your body or being, or if there's a disharmony with the two of you, it's going to create that. You could describe it as like funkiness. You could describe it as separation. You could describe it as pain. So what can you be, and what can your body be that would allow you to be congruent with each other with total ease? And you may not have ever really seen anyone that has congruency with their body. Maybe you kind of grew up with a lot of people that hated their body, that judged their body a lot. When you're in judgment of your body, you're not congruent with it. There's no harmony there in that judgment. And what's so interesting is when you put your attention on like increasing harmony with you, the being, and the body, the judgments seem to melt away. They seem to just disappear. For myself, when I've gone through a period of time where I've allowed disharmony, like over an extended period, I will like see myself age. I will look in the mirror and be like, wow, like I'm 10 years older than I normally am. When I get back to that harmony, that congruence, the age just melts away. Nothing else changes. I don't change my diet. I didn't change my face products. It just gets to melt away because what age is congruent with your being? Oh, that's a fun question to play with. Those people that just like, they're like big kids, or they're like really young at heart. Or sometimes there's kids that come in and they're like 50-year-old men. You could ask, what age could my body be that would be congruent with my being right now? And maybe if it's older than what you would like, then you could invite your being. You could ask, what would it take for me to kind of be congruent with a 30-year-old, a 20-year-old, like whatever lights you up, we all have like different times that we've decided are the sweet spots. I know some people, they're like, oh, 22. And other people are like, I had no idea what I was doing at 22. I was completely unconscious. It wasn't really till I got into my 30s that I started to get a clue about myself. So like 30 is the sweet spot. So what is that? Like, what is that for you? And play with it. Don't make it significant. It's just playing with it. Like, can I be congruent with like a 30-year-old? Can I be congruent as a 6-year-old in wonder of the world? Like, and not sticking yourself at any age. Can I be congruent with agelessness, indefinite living? That's where I like to play. In fact, if you ask me how old I am, I will always have to sit there and think for a little while because I don't have a cognitive awareness of it. I'll have to go get the information because I've allowed my body to have indefinite age, to go beyond aging. So when I'm not being congruent with that, then I will suddenly see aging going on. And I do not like that. I like that agelessness. What if you're willing to be congruent with agelessness? You and your body. It takes the two of you. You got to play together. You can't put it on either one. Because you're living this life together, So a really cool kind of clearing, and we do these clearings in Access Consciousness. If you watched the show before, I love Access Consciousness. It's my jam. It's the thing that I play with and dive into and spend most of all my time exploring. And we use questions and clearings and processes and something called the clearing statement. If you want more on that, you can check out accessconsciousness.com or theclearingstatement.com. They're always linked in the show description. And I'm going to give you one that you could play with today. And you could ask this, and I've been asking it like every morning and just even feeling different. Like I'm having like a lot of different things show up. And it's been really exciting to play with that. And I wonder if you would enjoy it too. So I'm going to give you the long version and then I'm going to give you the short version. Okay. So this particular process, it is a generative process. So when you ask this, you're actually like generating this energy in your life and with your body. So you're asking what energy, space, consciousness, and choice, magic, miracle, mystery, possibility, potency, and power can my body and I be to be congruent with each other with total ease for all eternity? Anything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and create it, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, bad, all nine shorts, voice, quote, to be honest. I'm going to do a little faster, but I'm saying it to you, okay? To you. So what energy, space, consciousness, choice, magic, miracle, mystery, possibility, potency, and power can you and your body be to be congruent with each other with total ease for all eternity? Anything that doesn't allow that, we destroy and create it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, bad, all nine shorts, voice, quote, to be honest. So that's the longer version. Now there's a shorter version that you can use. And this is the brilliance of Gary Douglas. He is the founder of Access Consciousness, and him and his partner in crime, Dr. Dane here, come up with these processes. And so he shortened it to all that energy, space, conscious, choice, shebang-a-bangs. So the whole thing, we just call it shebang-a-bangs. So what shebang-a-bangs can you and your body be to be congruent with each other with total ease for all eternity? Anything that doesn't allow that, we destroy and create it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all nine shorts, boys, POVEDs, and beyonds. Now ask this a million times. Ask it over and over and over. Ask it every day. Ask it 10 times a day. Like play with it as much as you want. the more you ask it, you're actually, one, you're shedding layers of limitation, but you're also activating all of those energies, all of those choices, all of the awarenesses of the choices. You're activating the magic and the miracles and the mysteries. You're activating all of this stuff so that, and it is as simple as asking a question and clearing all the energy with that clearing statement. That's how simple it can be to change something so big as being incongruent with your body. Now, for some of you might think that's just way too easy. It can't just be that easy. And if you believe that, then you're right, and it probably won't be that easy for you. But if you're willing to have it that easy, just play with it and see what shows up. See what's possible. Because that's what we're asking for. Not a result, not an answer, but we're inviting possibilities in a different way of being with your body. Because here's the thing, if you look out and you can, I'm so grateful for, the plus models that are showing that there's not one body type. I love slender women are gorgeous, so beautiful. I love all shapes, small breasts, large breasts, really, really tiny little bums, and big, glorious, beautiful bottoms. And I love all different shapes in men, and very muscular to extremely lean. I don't believe that there's a right body shape ever, 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 ever. But what I have noticed is when you go and you can really tap into the beauty of someone, most often, for me, it's not from the judgment of, oh, they look really good and they're wearing the right thing. It's, I'm acknowledging the body and the being in this beautiful congruency and communion. So what congruency can you and your body have that you never believed was possible? So also, part of what this can invite is to stop fighting your body. And if you did not catch my episode on giving up the fight, you should check it out. But really, this congruency with your body is a gift beyond anything that you can imagine. It can show up like miracles that you wouldn't have even thought were possible. Yeah. And it's just so much more fun to have a body when you're congruent with it. It's so much more fun to create with it and to, get dressed in the morning. And when you eat, when I'm in congruency, when I'm in harmony with my body and I eat food, it's like an orgasmic experience. When I'm not, I might be so in my head and I'm more congruent with my mind than my body. I don't even notice I'm eating. I'm just doing it to do the thing because I need to do the thing. Have you ever had that show up for you before? And then what's the fun of that? Not much. And this can show up with sex, and this can show up with, anything that you're doing with your body, which is everything that you're doing with your body. So what if you were really willing to play with that? What if you were really willing to, and so now also look at what are your asks with your body that you can be congruent with. Oh, we just went a little deeper. I hope you're willing to go on the ride with me. So asking for something with your body is not the same as judging your body. Okay. So you can ask, maybe it is a weight thing. Maybe you'd like to lose weight or you like to gain weight. Maybe you'd like larger breasts or smaller breasts or to be taller or shorter. Whatever's going on. Okay. You might have an awareness of a possibility. not from judgment, not because this is the right way to look or because your mom always made fun of you for being like too chubby or, you know, some kind of judgment. When I'm really looking at asks from true possibility. So like weirdly, when I was asking my body, like, what would you like to look like? It had told me at one point that it wanted to be taller. And I was like, well, that's interesting because I always had the point of view of being short was good because I can get into small spaces. I had actually made short kind of right. And so when my body said I'd like to be taller, I had to look at that and I had to clear some points of view that I had. And then I asked to be congruent with that. Now, I'm not much taller, but I have actually grown taller past like normal growing taller age limits. Literally anything is possible with your body. You know that we've been told all the impossibilities. And if you believe the impossibilities, you will make them true. And I'm going to invite you today to look at what if anything was possible. Anything was possible. I've heard of so many stories. There was a woman, her skin was as pale as mine. And she went to Hawaii once, got a really nice tan, and then her body just started like she never lost it years later. Like even like where her bathing suit wasn't, her whole skin tone changed from that one trip. And she can't explain it. She loves it. She has like this golden skin now. It's gorgeous. So anything is possible. You change your eye color, change your hair color, whatever's possible, whatever. So now like, okay, are you starting to get into some of the fun of it? So from the fun, from the play, from the awareness of the possibility, what is something you'd like to ask for with your body? So it could be, I would like to get out of body pain. It could be, I would like to lose weight. I would like to gain weight. I'd like to be taller. I would like to have more like grace with my body, maybe. I'd like my eyesight to improve. Okay. So digestive issues, there's a million things you could ask for. So get a sense of like the possibility that you're asking for right now. Again, not the judgment that you're asking for, not the right body. You're not asking for something right, and you're not asking out of something wrong. But if you were like a pain-free body, I'm asking for that. A like orgasmic embodiment, I'm asking for that. Okay, so get a sense of this ask. Okay. Okay, cool. So now, what would it take for you to be congruent with that ask? You, the being, to be congruent with what you and your body are asking for. And your body might be asking for something that you're not even aware of is a possibility, like for me, getting taller. Your body might be asking for something that you don't even think is relevant, but your body knows. So let your body ask too. Okay. So now you can run that shebang bangs clearing again too. But shebang bangs can you and your body be to be congruent with this ask? Oh, the total ease. And anything that's allowed that we destroy and create it, please. Right, wrong, good, bad, talk about all names, shorts, boys, forwards, and beyonds. Yeah, there you go. So if you're in harmony with what you're asking for, if you're congruent with what you're asking for with your body, can you perceive how much easier that can show up than if you're asking for something that you're in total disharmony with, and then you're supposed to receive it? Well, I don't know if that's going to work very well. So what possibility could you ask for with your body? And then are you willing to be congruent with that ask? Now, that being congruent with an ask for your body might there might be moments of discomfort as you like move forward, as you like to come out of the position that you've been in, right? So, yeah. There's just a lot of energy and awareness for a minute. Sometimes I take a moment to be with it, to be present with it. But if you keep going and you keep asking and just keep going, just keep asking, you'll come into that harmony. You can relax into that new space of being, in your body's new space of being, with this new reality of embodiment, just by asking a few questions. So easy. It's so miraculous, really. I've had so many examples of true miracles show up with people's bodies. Anything is possible for you and your body. Anything is possible. And this might be something to explore, is this congruency piece, and see what shows up. See if something starts to change. And you might also get awarenesses of where you're not congruent. And are you creating that incongruency as a way to separate? Are you creating that incongruency as a way to like not outshine other people, or to not be too beautiful, or to not have such ease with your body? There's these kind of insane points of view that we buy, that we create this for, right? So you don't have to deep dive into all that stuff. You can just ask forward, but sometimes it does create more to get clear on, wow, I'm being really incongruent with what I'm asking for. Like, I'm saying I would like a body that is more fluid and that moves with ease, and yet I refuse to move. That doesn't make any sense. Or I would like a body, like my body and I are asking to be seen, and then every time you leave the house, you make sure you do everything you can to hide. That's completely being incongruent with your ask, right? You're like trying to do the opposite. You're asking for something and then you're doing the opposite. If you're like, I would love a body free, like embodiment free of pain, and your body's like, oh, like, can we start drinking like hot lemon water? And you're like, no. Is that congruency? Is that avoiding and defending? Play with this. And I would love to hear what shows up for you in your body. I'd love to hear even what you started to experience just being in the curious universe with me today, and in the future, and what you're going to create beyond this and beyond this. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for exploring the curious universe with me. Your curiosity matters. And what if together we could create a greater, more curious world?